Yo, what's going on with your YouTube? German Chris here. We're coming back at y'all with another vid. Now today, I hate to start off with the year kind of negative, but you know what? Some things I need to talk about because you guys rely a lot on me on information. Just some things around the sneaker world, like the market and stuff like that. I try to do those type of videos to help a lot of people out. So you guys really rely on me on that. And there's some calls that I made kind of bad, and some of my worst calls, some of my worst investments, and just overall some of my worst decisions, man. So hey, they're not all winner, kids. They're all not winners, and trust me, I made some bad calls, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I always tell you guys, you know, at the end of the video, it's like, yo, don't always listen to me. You know, I don't know everything. You know, I'm not a guru or anything like that. You know, just kind of go with your gut feeling. I just tell these videos, these information is that what I have experienced, and I try my best. You know, I had some good ones. I had some really good calls, but like I said, I had some really bad ones too as well. So this is a video that I'm going to just go ahead and go back to my past failures and just be like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, man, everything is you just gotta go with your gut feeling. You know, I just give out some information, take it, leave it, or just kind of go with it with your information too as well. But hey, I mean, 2020 wasn't bad enough. Now I gotta recap this thing, man. I'm trying to forget 2020. So, all right, so I'm gonna pull out these two here, the dunks, right? So, worst decision was, so before the lockdowns, I was even saying in some of my videos, I think this would be a good investment, and I never pulled the trigger because these things were only going for like $240, $250 tops. I would have paid that because these things are now going for like $500. I wish I got like 20 pair of these things, and I gotta put these right next to it because my thinking was, yeah, these things start off pretty high because I think these start off like at $350, $360, and I invested pretty heavy in these things. I had like a total of like almost 8 pairs. These things still have potential to go up, but they didn't really move too much, man. I was thinking these were going to do better than the Kentuckys because I just think the red is a better colorway, you know, but didn't do much, kind of overspent on it, and now I'm just waiting for them to continue going up. I mean, they still have potential to go up, don't get me wrong, but still, it's been a long hold. Now my other bad investment, not really bad investment, is just that they haven't really went up because I spent pretty heavy on these things. It's still a dope shoe. They just haven't moved. You know, they staggered where they've been. And, you know, I was thinking it's a Yeezy V3, blue. The original ones were going for like 700. Like these things skyrocket up. I was thinking these things could do at least half of that. And yeah, they kind of start off pretty high. Anyways, these things were like, they start off like 360. And they just haven't moved. They haven't done anything, which is really strange because I think it's a really great colorway. They still have potential to move, but, you know, I don't like to just sit on just money. You know, that's just one thing. I don't like to just sit on it. I was hoping they'll move. Now, this one definitely has to be one of my worst L's of, like, 2020 for sure. It's the, you know, the Quantum Yeezys. Oh, look, another Yeezy. Is because, man, so back before an All-Star weekend, these things were super limited. These things were only exclusive to Chicago, which I was thinking like, yo, I mean, it's the first, you know, silhouette in the first colorway, and I spent pretty big bread on these things. This was over in SneakerCon Vancouver. Shouts to Van City, man. I need to come back. Vancouver, that's like one place I need to come back in 2021. Spent about 1,000 Canadian, which is like almost like equivalent to like 7 something US. And of course, they restocked. You know, I should have just took my advice. No Yeezys out there are safe. Should went with my gut. But as a sneaker YouTuber, I feel like I also had to get these things kind of early to do a review. But still, I just kind of lost more than half and didn't really invest in it. But still, if I could just waited and, you know, just basically these things are almost going for like a little bit over retail. These are one of those like I kind of wish I would have just waited or so. Now, definitely one of my worst calls of the year for sure has to be the Off-White 4s because, like, I remember, you know, I like to do like these hold and sell videos, you know, on the channel and stuff. Try to like give my opinion if you should either hold it or sell it. Will they go up or so on and so forth? And yeah, man, I totally said sell on these things because the price was really high when they first came out. I wasn't expecting these things to like freaking skyrocket the way they did. Especially on small sizes too. I didn't expect that. You know, I was saying like, yo, the price is pretty high. They're going for like, you know, 800, 900, you know, 1K on some small sizes, 700 some small sizes. You know, yeah, sell it, man, and they all just kind of just kept going up and up. Big sizes are even higher than that. Like, it's been insane on these Off-White 4s. I didn't expect that, man. These things must have been really limited, and the demand on these things must have been crazy. It's all good, man. Sometimes you get, they're not, like I said, they're not all winners, and I even apologize. I got this one wrong. And now my worst sales, like, I wasn't patient enough on these, were the Shattered Backboards 3.0s. So, like, I had like a total of like almost like I want to say like 7-8 pairs, and I sold them before the pandemic at a sneaker event for like almost like 280 to, yeah, like around like 250, 280 depending on sizes. And I let them all go at the show because people were buying these things up real quick, which I kind of wish I would have saw, because these things went up. I just was thinking, you know, yeah, it has a Shattered Backboard name, but like, man, like the amount of hate these things got, bro, like, you don't even understand. Like, I still don't even like this shoe. I still have a personal. I do plan on wearing it eventually. These things got so much hate. Like, these things got so much hate. People did not like the way how this glossy look was. It wasn't like nowhere near like the original with the, you know, the great leather quality and everything. So I was thinking like, yo, these probably not gonna go too much more up. Maybe like 300, you know. So that was definitely a bad call on me on these things. I did not see these things going the way they are. They're like at 450 now. Like, kind of wish I would have held on to those a little bit longer, you know. But you know, you learn from your mistakes, you know. So that's why I've been hang on to some of these shoes for dear life. Now, one of my worst calls for sure is the Union 4s, because I gave this shoe a lot of hell, man. I made a couple of videos on these things, how disappointed these things looking and stuff like that, and how I was calling these things so much trash. And you know, I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way, man. Like, come on, everyone felt the same way. Like, yo, these things were just not it. And yeah, man, once you get them in hand, and you know, and it just kind of it definitely changes, you know. This shoe definitely changes for a lot of people, because these things got so much hate too. Let's be for real, not just me. A lot of people out there hated these things as well, and so did I. I was like, yo, it's disappointing. It's nothing like the original, you know, Union ones. And I was like, yeah, these just ain't it. But yeah, these are a lot better in hand for sure. Like, definitely one of the top shoes of 2020. I don't know why am I doing this to myself, man. It just felt so terrible. All right, so now this is the last one that it was kind of like one of my, I think this is probably my worst investment as of right now. Not saying this is not a bad shoes. I'm telling people still to invest in these things, because right now the prices are really cheap. They're not really going for much. These are the Silver Japans. This is still a dope shoe. My worst investment is because I jumped into the game on these things a little too early when the price was super high. Like, I think the prices were all like 300, 280, something like that, you know. The thing was, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't released all worldwide. It was kind of like scattered. It was kind of really weird, you know. Like, USA was sometime here, Asia was sometime this date, then European this date, and then eventually, you know, they just kind of tanked, you know. I still think it's a good investment, and I think they still have potential to go up. It's just that I jumped into the game a little too early and I paid a little too high. So right now, I'm kind of lost money on these things. But yeah, it was definitely one of my worst ones, because I invested pretty heavy in these things, and they just kind of kept going down and down. And I jumped into the game too early, man. I should have waited just a little bit longer when market settles. So that's the thing about holds and investments, is that you have to know when to jump in the game, when not to jump in the game. You know, just for instance, example, the Mocha ones, it was a couple weeks ago was a good time to jump it in, even though the price was high, because they kept going up. You gotta have to feel it, you know. I kept telling you guys, you have to kind of feel how the market is, how the demand is and stuff. So the Mochas I did pretty good on, because I jumped into the game pretty early, invested in it, got rid of some, moved some, stuff like that, and been buying them. Still buying up Mochas, so if you guys want to sell some Mochas, hit me up. You have to feel the market out, and that's just mainly what it is you just kind of have to go with your gut feeling and just feel it out, and hope for the best, usually, you know. There's definitely like a strategy to it, and I'm still learning exactly, you know. There's some shoes is actually like, you know, it's pretty, you know, straightforward, you know, buy, hold, it'll go up in due time. But sometimes you really have to fill out the market, how some people feel about it, you know, on certain shoes, because you don't know how hype is, you don't know how demand is. it's just all kind of craziness. So like you just really have to fill out the market. Guys, that's pretty much it, man. That's like my worst calls, my worst investments, my biggest regrets, guys. So, you know, like I said, I've always tried, you know, I apologize if you guys listen to me and I put you guys in the same situation. You know, so like I said, man, I've always said in all my videos, my investment videos for sure, don't always listen to me. Go with your gut feeling. To give you guys information what I would do. Most of the time I never do things out of like emotion, or I'm being salty, or I'm just really excited because I get a W or something like that. I never do that. I try to do things to where like things just make sense, you know. And yeah, I just kind of go with my experience and stuff like that. And still learning the market, man. And that's been doing it for a little bit, and you know, just kind of just go with more experience. And you know, it's still good to learn every single day. Still good to learn what's out there, you know, and you know, still learning. But hey, 2021, man, hopefully things will get better, and you know, hopefully the world gets stuff together and we all can just eat together, man. So for sure, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Like, I love you guys so much. If you guys don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Comment down below, and please hit that bell for all the notifications for when I do drop vids. And don't forget to follow me on my social media at JumpmanChris on IG. Sometimes I'm on Twitter, and don't forget Snapchat. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you guys so much. I'm JumpmanChris. Peace.